day, like, I think, like, the best player in that class was Cam Reddish.
Who is the hardest player you've ever had at guard? Go ahead and be honest. Maybe it was back in your freshman year, facing off against the one dude who seemed to have springs for legs. Well, let's talk about our main guy, Cam Reddish. Now, if you've been keeping up with the NBA, you've probably heard a thing or two about this guy. Some say he's the biggest flop in recent NBA history, while others still believe his potential. Cam Reddish came into the league with all the hype in the world. We're talking about a dude who was considered one of the coldest players in his draft class. You could practically feel the excitement buzzing around him. Just 5 seasons into his NBA career, and he's already been tossed around by not one, but 2 teams. It's like they're playing hot potato with his potential. Now, you might be wondering, what the heck went wrong? With all that talent, why is Cam Reddish struggling to make a mark in the league? Maybe it's a case of bad luck, or maybe it's something deeper. Could it be a lack of confidence? Or maybe he's just struggling to find his place in the fast-paced world of professional basketball. Whatever it is, one thing is for sure, Cam Reddish's journey in the NBA has been anything but smooth sailing. Northtown, Pennsylvania. Not exactly the first place you think of when you hear basketball powerhouse, right? Not exactly the first place you think of when you hear basketball powerhouse, right? Because that's where our guy Cam Reddish was born and raised. Cam had it all: height, skill, charisma, you name it. He was the kind of player who could make jaws drop with a single crossover or drain threes like it was nobody's business. And the craziest part was that he was just getting started. Playing for Hartford High School, Cam was a force to be reckoned with. As much as he shined on the court, his team just couldn't keep up. What did Cam do? He packed his bags and headed to Westtown, where he knew he could truly spread his wings. It was a match made in basketball heaven. With a new squad around him, Cam was ready to take on the world, one dunk at a time. If you'd ever watched Cam Reddish on the court, you know he's like a brick wall with legs. Trying to get past this guy was like trying to break through Fort Knox, nearly impossible. Now, we don't know about you, but when Kevin Durant himself is singing your praises, you know you're doing something right. And trust me, Katie wasn't lying when he said Cam's athleticism was off the charts. The dude moves like a gazelle out there. So yeah, when it comes to Cam Reddish, there's really not much to dislike. He's got the skills, the style, and the swagger to make even the toughest critics sit up and take notice. Tight handles, elite pull-up games, and a touch around the basket that will make even the pros jealous. That's right, Cam was a scoring machine, plain and simple. And with a height of 6'7" and a wingspan of 7'1", he was a defensive nightmare for anyone unlucky enough to face him on the court. Cam wasn't just a scorer, he was a level 3 threat capable of putting points on the board from anywhere on the court. Whether he was draining threes from deep, driving to the rim with authority, or hitting mid-range jumpers like it was nobody's business, Cam could do it all. Cam was also a playmaker extraordinaire, running the point like he was born to do it. We're talking about a dude who's been dishing out assists since he was knee-high to a grasshopper. It's no wonder ESPN ranked him as the 3rd best player in the country. The guy was a walking highlighted reel. Despite all his talents and potential, Cam had a bit of a speed bump on his journey to the top. And it all started when he teamed up with 2 other future NBA stars, Zion Williamson and RJ Barrett, the number 1 and number 2 players in the entire country, teaming up to form the ultimate collegiate super team at Duke University. Sounds like a dream come true, right? For the first time in his career, Cam found himself playing second fiddle to Zion Williamson and RJ Barrett. It was a tough pill to swallow. Instead of being the star of the show, Cam was relegated to the role of a role player, and let's just say it didn't suit him too well. Cam's lone session with the Blue Devils left more questions than answers. Scouts were scratching their heads, wondering if this guy was the real deal or just another flash in the pan. Suddenly, those tangible qualities that make or break a player's career were under the microscope. Despite his lackluster season, Cam was still a hot commodity in the NBA draft. We're talking about a guy who could go from being a top 3 pick to slipping all the way down to 23 spot. Sure, Cam has his moments of brilliance on the college court, but it wasn't enough to erase the doubt swirling around him. Would he be able to live up to the hype? Would he end up being just another cautionary tale, a wasted potential. Now, after striking gold with Trae Young, the Atlanta Hawks decided to roll the dice once again by adding Cam Reddish to their young core. Talk about doubling down on potential. With the right mindset and a solid training program, Cam has all the tools to make it big in the NBA. Let's face it, talent makes the league go round, and Cam's got the talent in spades. If the stars align just right, he could be a game changer, a versatile piece that teams would kill to have on their roster. Cam's journey has been a rocky one so far. There's still that 20% chance, that glimmer of hope, that he'll catch fire and show the world what he's made of. And when Cam gets on a roll, there is no stopping him. Despite the growing pains and setbacks, Cam still believed he had what it takes to be a star in the NBA. And you know what? We admire his optimism. He takes guts to keep pushing forward in the face of adversity, and Cam's got guts in spades. After 2 years of living the nightmare that was his NBA career, so far, Cam Reddish was out of Atlanta faster than you can say trade deadline. It was tough for a guy who had once been hailed as the next big thing. Cam may have hit a rough patch, but he's not down for the count. With the right mindset and a little bit of luck, who knows? Maybe Cam Reddish will rise from the ashes and prove all the doubters wrong. After all, stranger things have happened in the world of basketball. Injuries continue to plague Cam, limiting his play time to fewer than 60 games in a season. And to make matters worse, there was a glaring lack of noticeable improvement in his game. So, it wasn't long before Cam found himself packing his bags once again, this time headed for Portland. Getting traded mid-season is never a good sign, with each team hoping they'll be the one to unlock your potential. You think a change of scenery might do some good? Well, so far, the results have been less than stellar. Scoring just 6 points a game on 40% shooting. Yeah, those numbers don't exactly inspire confidence. When it comes to offense, Cam Reddish has been more of a nightmare than a dream come true in the NBA. We're talking about a guy who's a big old negative for your team when it comes to putting points on the board. Sure, there are moments when he flashes some offensive prowess, but those moments are few and far between. You think a guy playing over 20 minutes of a game would be raking up the assists, right? Well, not Cam. In fact, he's dead last when it comes to passes made. He is a black hole on the court. Everyone wants to be the star of the show. If you're not willing to play your role and make the necessary sacrifices, you're bound to flop before you succeed at anything. It's a harsh truth, but someone's got to say it. Cam's unwillingness to embrace a role as a reliable third option without constantly seeking the spotlight is holding him back. It's like watching someone try to fit a square peg into a round hole. It just doesn't work. And as much as we all want to see Cam bounce back and become a valuable piece for his team, the sad truth is that it might not be possible at this point. He's stuck in a cycle of self-sabotage, and breaking free from that mindset is easier said than done. Cam's time in the NBA might be coming to an end sooner than we think. It's not the normal progression we'd expect from a talented player like him, but hey, life isn't always fair. So what is your take on this? Do let us know in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Until next time, see you all.